August 28th. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. Proverbs 25:28. Walls were very important for cities in ancient times. Often, they were the primary defense against invading armies. A city whose walls were broken was defenseless and vulnerable to destruction. No wonder Nehemiah, when he heard that Jerusalem's walls were broken down, broke down with weeping and mourning. He knew the danger his people were in without walls to protect them. The same is true of us when we lack self-control. It is as if our protection to temptation is gone and we are vulnerable to falling into sin. Ironically, there is probably no greater example of this proverb than its author, King Solomon. His lack of self-control in indulging his fleshly desires led him into ever greater sin. The Bible tells us that he especially indulged himself in three areas: wealth, sex, and power, in ways that were expressly forbidden by the law of Moses. His desire for wealth and power resulted in trading and political alliances with pagan nations, and his love of women resulted in him having 700 wives and 300 concubines, many from foreign nations. We read in 1 Kings 11 of the tragic consequence of Solomon's lack of self-control. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. He followed Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the detestable god of the Ammonites. So Solomon did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not follow the Lord completely as David his father had done. Solomon's walls were broken through by his indulgence of his flesh, and the result was probably far worse than he had ever imagined. He ended his days steeped in idolatry. After starting so well, having the Lord appear to him twice, and building a grand temple in Jerusalem, Solomon completely lost his relationship with God. Today, let's ask the Holy Spirit to help us repair any breaches we may have allowed in the walls of our lives. Today's prayer. Holy Spirit, please protect me with the fruit of self-control. May my walls not be broken through, but strong and stable.